everyone, it's Helen here. Today I will be showing you how to make mì Quang Chay. It's a vegan version of mì Quang, a specialty of Quảng Nam province and Da Nang city. But before that, I'm very excited to announce that I have just launched Helen Gift. It's an online store selling kitchen textiles with very cool and hand-painted designs, so you can have a look. Okay, so back to today's recipes. In Da Nang, you can find a lot more places selling mì Quang than to sell phở. But popular as it is there's no common way to cook this dish. To many Quang people, the best bowl of mì Quang has to be cooked by their mom. That's why today I will join my mom in the kitchen and show you how my mom made this dish. So let's begin.
Helen's Recipes.
You will need 250 grams of chayote or kohlrabi, 350 grams of pumpkin, 200 grams of taro. For the topping, you will need 2 sticks of fried tofu, 120 grams, 120 grams of wheat gluten or zaitan. If you live in Western countries, you can buy it in a can or frozen at the Asian market. You also need 100 grams of straw mushrooms, which can also be bought frozen or in a can at Asian market. Some shiitake mushrooms or the Vietnamese nấm hương. For garnishes, you're gonna need some leek and coriander and 2 finger-sized pieces of turmeric. Firstly, peel the chayote or kohlrabi and cut in half. We're gonna cut one half into 1-inch cubes and the other half into small dices. Also cut the pumpkin into 1-inch cubes. And dice up the taro. Fill a saucepan with 6 cups or 1.5 liters of water and bring to a boil. Then add the pumpkin and chayote cubes. Cook 15 minutes until soft. Then remove and use any tool that you have to mash it, keeping the broth for later use. I'm just using the back of a slotted spoon, but you can also use a potato ricer or something. Then add the diced vegetables into the remaining broth. Cook for 7 minutes and then add a teaspoon of salt. You can skim off the foam. When the diced vegetables are soft, you can add in the mashed pumpkin and chayote. This paste will thicken the broth and also add more flavor and color to the dish. To prepare the toppings, cut the straw mushrooms in quarters. For the smaller ones, just cut in half. You can also use other kinds of mushrooms that you like. We normally use straw mushrooms because it's the cheapest kind of mushroom in Vietnam. For the dried shiitake mushrooms, I have soaked it in warm water to soften and cut into bite-sized pieces. For the zaitan or wheat gluten, I just cut it into slices on the diagonal. The frozen mì Quang I used to buy in Germany is a lot thicker and it's not hollow inside, but it tastes the same. These tofu steaks has been pan-fried until golden brown on the outside. Cut the tofu into slices. Clean the turmeric to remove all the dust and then cut into small pieces. Then insert into a Ziploc bag and use a pestle to crush it. Because the color of turmeric is very powerful and it can leave stain to any utensil that you use with it. So I think this is like the perfect way to deal with it. Just use a thick Ziploc bag and don't pound too strong to avoid breaking. Roughly chop up the white part of the leek and pound it well in a mortar and pestle with a half a teaspoon of salt. The best mì Quang is always made with virgin peanut oil or raw peanut oil, dầu phụ. Heat up about 4 tablespoons of the oil until hot. If you use raw peanut oil like what I use here, you have to wait until it's very hot and smoky. Then add the crushed leek and fry until it turns quite golden. Then add in the crushed turmeric. Quickly fry for about 10 seconds. The turmeric and leek will infuse the oil with a very nice fragrance and color. Then add the mushrooms and season with a teaspoon of mushroom seasonings and a teaspoon of sugar. Stir fry for a minute and then add the sliced tofu and zaitan. Mix it well with chopsticks or a spatula and then season with a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Keep stir frying for a few more minutes until the tofu and mushrooms absorb the seasonings. Then transfer to the vegetable soup pot. The broth for mee quang is normally thicker and saltier than other broth used for other Vietnamese noodle dishes. So have a taste and add more salt, mushroom seasonings and sugar to your preference. Finally, for garnishes, just chop up the green part of the leek and some cilantro. Add the green leek directly into the soup pot and turn off the heat. So as you can see, the soup is pretty thick. I would consider it's more like a sauce than a soup. For the fresh vegetables, you're gonna need lettuce and a variety of Vietnamese herbs like mint, coriander, perilla, etc. And ideally with some shredded banana blossom too. Fresh vegetables and herbs is a must-have for mee quang. The more variety you have, the better. Just rinse a few times and drain well. To serve, fill a bowl half full with the fresh greens, then top it up with the thick rice noodles. You can click on the picture to go to the original mee quang recipe, which shows you how to prepare the banana blossom and cook the noodles if you don't have access to fresh ones. Then ladle the soup over the noodles, making sure that the broth or the soup should be covering just half of the bowl. This is more like a half soup, half salad dish, so you don't want to fill the bowl full with the soup. The noodles and the fresh greens are bland, that's why we season the soup saltier to balance it out. Finally, garnish with some chopped cilantro and some crushed peanuts. Don't forget the fresh green chili pepper and a rice cracker. If you can eat chow or fermented tofu, I highly recommend you to add a teaspoon of that on top of the noodles. It's gonna add very bold flavor to the dish. Otherwise, just add soy sauce to your taste. To serve, just stir it up and enjoy! What can I say? It tastes amazing! Just like the delectable dishes that you have cooked, took photos and uploaded on Instagram, Facebook and Google Plus with hashtag Helen Recipes. It's getting colder and I guess that's why you guys are cooking a lot of noodle soup dishes, which are just perfect for this kind of weather. So if you like this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel for more delicious Vietnamese food. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.